Hey guys, I hope you don't hear the fan going in the background, but when I'm sleeping, I like to hear the fan. The wife likes it too. She turns it up really high. We have it kind of on low tonight, but I was laying here thinking about a video I did earlier. Now, the thumbnail to this video is the call that they went on. I'll put a link to that video in the description box below for context, so you know what video I'm talking about. If you've seen it, you'll know what video I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it yet, the link is below. You can go ahead and click on that after this and watch it. But they responded to a 415, which a 415 could be an argument, a fight, something going on. Some people are not happy with each other. That's usually what a 415 is. You could have a 415 verbal, a 415 domestic, a 415 physical, whatever. But they responded to the 415. And it was at Yucaipa Boulevard and Adams Street. And it was behind the motel. Now, there's a motel in Upper Yucaipa. It's a lower income motel. And it was behind that there were several police cars there. As you saw at the end of the video, there were 4 officers standing there doing a powwow. But there were at least 6 officers, because there was the one that drove off when I first got there. And then there was the SAM unit, the Sarge. So they all responded there, and I was like, what's going on here? And I went up there. I want to say a couple of things about that video. I was just laying here thinking about it, and it just really bothered me. The first thing is, some of you might think I was a little hard on the cop who clicked the flashlight in my face. And I don't think I was, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if that's a trained behavior or a learned behavior. It's been years since I've went through police academy. I went through police academy in Texas. I graduated level 1, which means I could have been a reserve cop, but I moved to California instead. That's why I did not become a cop in Texas. I did it while I was in the Army, and I was going to get out of the Army and be a cop there in Texas. And due to some family problems, my mom got ill. I said, I don't want to be in Texas if she gets sick in California. So I came back to California. But I did go through police academy there. I graduated level 1. There were 3 levels to the police academy. It was called TCLOS, to Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Officer Standards in Education. I think I got it right. But I graduated level 1, and then I moved. I got out of the Army, and I was going to go to level 2, level 3, stay in Texas. And instead, I just came back to California. Went through PC 832 here in California, which is PC 832 is powers of arrest. I've done that course here in California. So I know a little bit. I know a few things about law enforcement. I'm not totally naive. When cops think I'm just some dumb shit out there that doesn't know what they go through or what they're about, I have some education. That's one of the things that ticks me off about cops, is I know sometimes, definitely, without a doubt, when they're wrong. Because I've been there in the academy. I've, gone through. Anyway, I'm not going to open that can of worms. But so the flashlight thing, I don't know if it's a trained behavior or a learned behavior, but it's definitely an intimidation thing. It's an intimidating thing. It's like a stay away from me, I'm a cop. That's really what, I just want to see what you're doing. Well, that's a rude way to do it, is to shine a flashlight in somebody's face. Why not just say, good evening, how you doing? Or, hey, how's it going over there? Or whatever. No, you shine a high-powered, bright flashlight in the face. I don't know how much the camera picked up, but that sucker was bright. It literally, I saw a couple of yellow spots when he put it down. It was bright in my face. I'm walking up a dark street. Well, it wasn't completely dark. There were street lights. I had this on. So he knew who I was. He saw me. But so that's, if you think I was a little hard on the cop, that's why. Because that's not the way to build communication with your community. That's not the way to build relations with your community, is to put a bright flashlight in their face. The way to do it is, how you doing, sir? Or, hey, ma'am. And see how they respond. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm not always right. But I believe I was right. I'm going to stand that I was right, and that's how that's going to be for now. The other thing that bothered me about that video, and it really bothers me, not that I did anything wrong in the video, but in the video, the lady at the end started getting emotional when she was thanking me. She said, "Thank you for being out here." But she started crying. Like, literally, she started to break down. She was going to start weeping and crying, and she was shaking. And she said, "Thank you so much for being out here. I've been hurt by the police before." Now, this isn't an attack on the Yucaipa PD or anything. This is just what the lady told me. And I'm going somewhere with this. So don't get all upset, especially if you're a law enforcement officer, especially if you're a law enforcement officer in Yucaipa. Don't get all upset right now. But this isn't an attack on them. This is just what she told me. So she said she'd been hurt before by the police, and that she was so thankful I was there to watch and to have my recording going. And I mean, she started crying, and it wasn't like a fake cry or a woo-hoo, boo-hoo me. This lady was scared a lot. She was scared. This lady was terrified that the cops were there, and she thought she was really going to get hurt. She thought something was going to happen to her. I think she thought she was going to get arrested and go to jail. This lady was honestly scared. You could tell by the look on her face. I didn't record her face or anything because it wasn't about her. But she was scared. You could hear it in her voice. She started to weep. I was going to unplug the mic, but I was so concentrated on what she was saying, I forgot. And some people wonder why I would unplug the mic. Well, this microphone blocks out background noise so you guys can hear me talking. If I unplug the mic, you can hear everything around me. So I should have unplugged it so you could hear her talking. But I was just concentrating on what she was saying. The moral of the story and where I'm going with this blog here. So I was laying here tonight thinking about that, and I was thinking about that poor lady was terrified shitless. She was scared slap to freaking, I don't want to say scared to death. I don't know that she was that scared, but she was freaking scared. She was shaking. She was weeping. She had tears started to come out of her eyes, to drop. She was freaking scared that she thought the cops were there to hurt her, take her to jail. She's done, and then they let her go. So I wanted to say this, that if anybody questions why we record the police, why are we out here? Why am I Community Leo Watch and I'm out there in the community watching law enforcement officers? Why? Because of people like that lady. People that are scared of cops. They're freaking terrified of police. Why? Because some cop did something. And it may not mean all cops are assholes. Maybe not all Yucaipa cops are assholes, but some Yucaipa cops somewhere, or Yucaipa cops somewhere, have scared the shit out of this lady. So that when she sees the police roll up here in town, she freaking gets scared. She was crying, and she said, "Thank you so much." And that's why you hear me at the end say, "You're very welcome, ma'am." Or something to that effect, because she was freaking terrified, and she was thanking me, and that's why I said, "You're very welcome." I was just like, hey, it's what I do, but that's why I do it, because people in the community need somebody that has their back. People in the community need to know this one's got my back. And I'm not saying I condone crime. I don't condone crime. I don't justify crime. And if you're a criminal and you commit a crime, you got to pay the price. In my case, I don't believe I committed any crimes. But again, there are asshole cops in this town that they're going to do what they're going to do. And I'm going to try to get you somehow. And we're not going away, guys. I'm going to continue to watch law enforcement officers in the community, not just this town, but surrounding communities as well, because of people like that lady that need to know someone's got your back. Someone is out here recording the police. Don't worry. If they do something to you, I have it on record. We're going to make sure that everyone's accountable. And that's how it is. So it was just bugging me. I keep hearing her talking to me, and she started crying. She got very emotional, and she was fucking scared shitless that she thought she was going to jail. And these cops, she said, I've been hurt by the police before. And, I don't know her from anyone, if she's telling the truth or not. But I will tell you this. The emotion that was coming out of her voice, the tears that started to fall. This woman wasn't just trying to, get back at the cops for coming out there tonight. She was scared. You could tell. And I know you cops go, how can you tell, man? She was lying to you. No, you could tell. There's a line between someone that's acting and someone that's just, putting on a show and someone that's freaking scared. There's a line there. And you can, if you really have a heart, if you really love people and you're really sincere with people, you can tell. You know why a lot of cops can't tell? Because they're not sincere. It's a learned behavior to not be sincere. Everybody's guilty. That's why so many of our camera people and our cop watchers and auditors are getting arrested. Because the cops say, everybody's guilty. And if you record me, you're guilty of something. We'll figure it out in jail. You're guilty of something. We'll figure it out. Yeah. That's why I'm out there recording. But because of that lady tonight, she's one of the reason that I'm out there recording every night. It bugged me, man. And it still does. It's just, she was freaking scared. For real. It wasn't acting. If that was acting, she needs an Oscar because she really was scared. I'm not going to beat that into the ground anymore. But I didn't want to say that, some of you may say I was a little hard on the cop. You know what? Stop shining your flashlight in people's face. Start saying, good evening. Hey, that's a great icebreaker. Good evening. What a great icebreaker. Community Leo Watch. I'm watching Leos in the community. And if you are a Leo, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And thank you for listening all this time. Have a great night. Tomorrow we start the week.